Kent State University plans to attract attention by improving pitching and defense. Kent State plans to turn heads with improved pitching, defense. Allen Moff record career for the first time in recent memory. When discussing Mid-American Conference baseball preseason favorites, Kent State is not the first team rolling off the tongue in 2022. Defending champion Central Michigan is the prohibitive favorite after winning 42 games and knocking off both Michigan and UConn in last year's NCAA Regional. Ball State, a 38-game winner in 2021, was ranked second in the MAC preseason coaches poll, just ahead of the Golden Flashes, saying the Flashes have been forgotten after finishing 30-26 overall and 23-17 in league play last year would be an exaggeration. But the program that's captured 26 MAC tournament or regular season titles since 1992 is not considered the face of the conference. Needless to say, that's not sitting well with Kent State coach Jeff Duncan and his players. "You can't count out the Flashes," said Duncan, preparing for his 9th season at KSU. "I feel like people have this year, and that's kind of different, but it also puts that chip on your shoulder. Our guys are motivated, and I really like the talent and leadership we have on this team. We're going to be very good. How good is just a matter of how healthy we stay." Kent State adds left-hander Benjamin Cruikshank to rotation. Last season was a strange one for the Flashes, who lost 3 of their first 4 MAC series and were never able to recover. A pitching staff guided by nationally renowned coach Mike Birkbeck uncharacteristically struggled through much of the season, compiling a team ERA of 5.40 while striking out less than 1 batter per inning and issuing a walk every 2 innings. The staff has been bolstered by transfers and freshmen who, combined with several key returnees, should at the very least restore some order on the mound this spring. "We've had some injuries that have really plagued us the last few years, but it's also offered guys opportunities when they may have not been ready. Now I think that's all coming together," said Duncan. "I think the guys we have coming back are ready to emerge. Really likes his freshman class. We'll have more velocity this year, but at the same time, I think our command will be better. We're a little young as a staff, but it's exciting." Kent State added a big arm in 6' for junior lefty Benjamin Cruikshank, a transfer from Missouri State who reaches 95 miles per hour. He will start Friday's season opener at Coastal Carolina. Junior right-hander Richie Dell, who started 9 games last year, will also take the mound on Friday. "Velocity wins in our league, and Cruikshank throws hard," said Duncan. "Has made such an improvement from last year to this year both physically and mentally. I think he's got a chance to really dominate in our league." The Flashes will start veteran lefty Colin Ramel Saturday against West Virginia. Ramel nearly lost his life in a car accident in April 2019, suffering multiple major injuries. He was able to pitch the past 2 seasons, but is just now feeling like himself again, according to Duncan. "It's been a 2.5-year rehab for him, to be honest," said Duncan. "He just recently started feeling back to normal, mobility-wise, with his hips and legs. He feels so much better. In our last scrimmage he had borderline no-hit stuff. His fastball command has returned, and he's a great leader." A freshman will take the mound on Sunday against Coastal Carolina, although it's hard to believe 6'5", 230-pound Rocco Bernardina was pitching to high school kids just last spring. "We're excited about Rocco. He made a huge jump between fall and spring," said Duncan. "He's going to be a pro prospect. He's a monster, and he's a really competitive kid. I'm excited to see him." Another prized freshman, Peyton Kariako, will also get some work on Sunday. The back end of the bullpen will feature Grant Vera, a 5'11", 165-pound senior who played infield for the Flashes the past 2 years. "He's sitting 93-96 with a slider," said Duncan, "and it's electric because it comes out of that little body." Also filling relief roles for the Flashes will be senior Max Ripple and sophomore lefty Aiden Longwell, who both saw significant action last year. 2 other newcomers who could contribute out of the bullpen are freshman Eric Kalis and junior Brody Ware, a North Canton Hoover High School product. The Flashes lost 2 returning pitchers to season-ending injuries last summer, sophomore Benny Roebuck and junior Jack Cartsonas, but Duncan still believes his staff has adequate depth. "We feel like we've got 8 or 10 arms that we like," said Duncan. "We just have to use these first few weekends to figure out role." Junior catcher Justin McNeese leads Kent State's hitters. Scoring runs was not typically an issue last year for the Flashes, who averaged just under 6.5 runs per game. But 3 of Kent State's leading hitters from 2021 have moved on, leaving some major holes to fill in the lineup. "A lot of people think we'll be missing a beat offensively, but but I don't think we will, said Duncan. We've got 3 all-conference guys up the middle. I think we've got a good balance, speed in the front and back end of our lineup, and power in the middle. I also think we're going to be better defensively, especially in the infield. It all may take some time to come together, but I like this lineup. The strength up the middle features junior catcher Justin McNeese, sophomore shortstop Michael McNamara, and senior center fielder Colin Matthews. McNeese, a left-handed catcher with a cannon for an arm and power at the plate, is drawing plenty of attention from pro scouts. He's probably the most touted position player in our league right now, said Duncan. He's a great player and leader, one of our team captains. I feel like we haven't had that leadership behind the dish the past couple of years. He's a really good teammate, works hard and brings energy. He makes people around him better. Senior Sam Thompson, who hit .333 last year, will back up McNeese and also see time at first base. Junior Mac Timbrook, a Kent native, and sophomore Kyle Jackson will see action at third base while junior college transfer Peyton Pennington takes over at second base. Several players will man first base, including Thompson, senior Justin Kirby and Longwell. Talk about steady and reliable, said Duncan of Longwell. It's going to be hard to keep him off the field. He had a great fall offensively. He's always finding the barrel. Kirby, a consistent offensive contributor since his MAC Freshman of the Year season in 2019, will also see action in right field and as the designated hitter along with fellow veteran Nick Elson. Junior Josh Johnson has emerged since seeing spot duty last season and will likely start in left field. Tough early tests. The MAC tournament returns this season, but the 40-game conference schedule featuring 4-game weekend series remains in place. Only the top 4 teams qualify for the MAC tourney. Kent State has just 9 games scheduled before opening the conference campaign at home from March 11th to 13th. Against the preseason favorite Chippewas. After a tough opening weekend at Coastal Carolina, the Flashes will play a 3-game series at perennial national powerhouse Texas Tech. The schedule will only make us better in the long run. We have to challenge our guys. We can't be afraid to play anybody, said Duncan. We'll use these first 3 weeks to get our feet underneath us, especially on the mound. The goal is to be in stride by week 4, going into MAC play with a good idea of what we have. Facebook, Twitter, email.